This morning, I had an appointment to go to, and at the appointment, it would require my driver's license. And as the place was about to open, I looked inside of my wallet to get my driver's license out so I could have it in my hand. And I noticed that my driver's license was not in my wallet. My passport was there and other cards, but not my driver's license. So I was like, oh my God, I have misplaced my driver's license. I have misplaced my driver's license, the card that verifies my identity. So after getting back to the house, I searched different pockets. I searched my vehicle and still could not find my driver's license. I didn't get in a panic, very concerned, but I didn't get in a panic. So I started thinking about where I had been over the last few days. And as a matter of fact, last week, I was out of town with friends. And so I started thinking back to then when the last time I saw my driver's license. And I contacted two of the people that I was on a trip with. One of the person's vehicle we used. So I asked him to check his vehicle to see if he'd seen my driver's license. And then I've also had ridden in the other person's vehicle when we got back in town, and I asked her to check hers. Neither one of them seen it. And so I'm still going on about my day, working several meetings, and in the midst of all of that, I'm still being mindful that I do not have my identification card. I do not have my driver's license. And I kept asking God, help me find my driver's license. It's all throughout the day. And I started retracing things back from the time when I knew I had my driver's license. So I started retracing my steps from Friday until today. And as I was going through my mind, the different things, I was like, no, I didn't pull out my driver's license there, nor there, nor there. Then I went on, had more meetings, did some more work throughout the day. And then I told one of my best friends, I told her, I said, after my next meeting, I'm going to set aside some time. I'm going to get some paper and I'm going to retrace every step. So I pulled out my little notepad and started retracing, writing down the places I went to from Friday to Sunday. And as I began to write Friday down, I was like, no. And then I started Saturday. And about the third place that I wrote down, it clicked. And I was like, that's where it is. But I kept writing every other place that I went through to on Saturday. And the place that I identified was the credit union. I remember going through the drive-through, and I visually saw myself not getting my driver's license back out of the tube. So I called them. Was on hold for a long time. And the first lady was like, okay, let me contact someone at that particular branch and see. The call dropped when she said that. So I had to call back. Well, I waited a few minutes because I thought she was going to call me back. And I didn't receive a call, so I called again. Waited about another 30, 40 minutes. And the lady got on the phone and said she was going to contact the branch. And I said, hey, can you write my number down? Even though I know you should have my number in the system. And when she did call it out to me, so she contacted the branch, got back on the phone, and my driver's license was there. So several things in that. I was in a place where the thing that could identify who I am to other people was missing. The link to my identity was missing. There was a missing link to identify who I am to other people. And then the process for me to identify where the missing identification, where my missing identity was because I had to take a pause. I had to grab some paper and something to write with, and then started writing out, retracing my steps to identify where I misplaced my identity. The very thing that can identify who I am. I was able to identify that because I took a mindful pause. I grabbed the resources I needed, some paper and pen, and I began to retrace my steps to identify where the missing link to my identity was. And now I'm able to go get that so that I can verify who I am to others. I already know who I am, but there was a missing link. And you may be thinking that there is something, or not really thinking, but there is something. You have this feeling of something missing in your life. Just can't quite put your finger on it. I guarantee you it's linked to who you are. And the way I encourage you, and I did leave out something. So the way that I encourage you to find that missing link is to talk to God. Ask Him to help you find that missing link. Find where you misplace the thing that can make you whole, that can make you complete, that can help people identify the gift of who you are, the gift that God created you to be. Because I first started asking God throughout the day, help me find my driver's license. So first I encourage you to talk to God. Ask Him to help you find that missing thing. That missing thing can be so many different things, and it's different for each individual person. And then be intentional about taking a pause, by a mindful pause. It took me less than 30 seconds. It doesn't take 3 hours. It just takes your intentionality about setting aside the time to listen, to be led by God. And then make sure you have the resources you need while you're taking that pause. Always have something to write with. When I first started retracing my steps, I started thinking it. And I missed the credit union. But when I started writing the things down, I remembered to add the credit union to there as one of the places I went to. I know a lot of people don't like to write things down, but I encourage you to try it. It helps to get everything out of your brain on paper so you can visually see it. I hope this has encouraged you to be intentional about finding that missing thing, that missing piece to who you are. And once you find it, go get it. Because guess what? I'm going to get my driver's license. I need it. I need it for so many different things. God's grace and mercy covered me for 3 days. 3 days I was without my driver's license, driving around, just driving around like I got everything together and not knowing that I have lost something, that I have missed something. And so often that's how we are. We're going through life, we're going through the motions and not realizing we've lost the key piece to our pathway of travel. I'm driving and traveling and do not have the key piece to legally operate the vehicle. But God's grace and mercy kept me and protected me for 3 days because I wasn't aware. And that's why I worship God. That's why I love God, because He's always protected me. He's always keeping me when I don't even realize the things that are going on. And he's done that so many times for you and you and you and you, to everyone that's listening to this. And so we don't want to just operate continually in that. He's made me aware that this is missing. And as a matter of fact, the place that I had for an appointment with, I wasn't able to get in the appointment because they changed some things and it was no longer valid as far as the day and time. But I went to that place because God had to make me aware that something was missing. My driver's license was missing, because if I had not went to that place, I don't know how many more days it would have been before I had come into awareness that my driver's license was missing. So even in that, because when I left the place, I tried not to think like, oh my God, I just wasted my time. I was just like, okay, it is what it is. Everything happened for a reason. And I went on. I went back to the house. I was able to, I went to walk. I was able to get my morning walk in before morning meetings. But it happened to bring me into awareness that my driver's license was missing. So everything happens for a reason. We don't always see it at that time, but I guarantee you the pieces always fit to the puzzle. So be encouraged. Be intentional. Be mindful. And let's grow.